Data governance is vital and essential. And in this presentation, I'll be talking about Digital India and importance of data governance and what actually we are offering from our center. So, Digital India, there are 9 pillars like universal access to mobility, connectivity, information to all, electronics, manufacturing, IT for jobs, early harvest programs, and e-Kranti. There are 9 pillars. I need not go through all of you, may be aware. And in the present day world, data governance is more important because information is growing exponentially in every sector, including even in the government sector also. And 30% of this information is going to be real-time information. And today, whatever is, let's say, 23 zettabyte of information, if it is there, and by 2025, it is going to be 173 zettabyte. That means several folds of increment is forecasted. And this information in emails, in video clippings, or in audio clippings, or imageries, or CC surveillance cameras, because 60 to 80% of this content is going to be unstructured content. Structured content which is going to be stored in the databases is going to be hardly 20 or 30% only. Even in any department also, right now, if you see the data, most of this is unstructured data. And we need to manage all this data. And when we talk about the government, we are implementing several schemes. And let us say if it DBT, there are around 462 schemes are there which are being monitored by the PMO, and also in every state, typically around there are around 1,500 schemes are there in the government, and actively 300 to 500 schemes any government may be implementing at any point of time. And in these few hundred schemes, there is a lot of sensitive personal data and information. And so this data is being managed by several departments. And what is another important in the digital India is the emphasis is on providing faceless, paperless, and cashless and self-serving services. That means there should not be any interaction between human beings or the functionary and the information seeker or the service provider. So it has to be done automatically and seamlessly. That is also another emphasis. So maturity model of the Digital India is faceless, cashless, paperless, and self-serving. So all the processes, whatever we are implementing, it is actually evolving toward that. But when we are developing such systems, there are so many problems and challenges are there. For example, we need to ensure, as per the forthcoming Digital Data Governance Data Protection Act, we need to ensure participation of the individuals, that is citizens, or who are the ultimate owners of their own data. So individual participation rights, we need to recognize and also ensure. For that, for example, all of you may be aware, 47 crores were dispersed to 23 lakh customers on LPG subsidy, and none of them are aware, and they complained, my LPG subsidy has not credited to my account, because Airtel has opened without automatically, whoever is having their number, Airtel bank account was also opened just by click of a button. And as per the DBT workflow, and the amount goes to the, if a citizen has multiple bank accounts, the credit, that means the subsidy amount goes to the latest bank account. So he may be banking with, let us say, SBI, but recently this another bank account has come, which without his knowledge, automatically Airtel has opened. So his subsidy amount went to Airtel bank account, and he was looking at his bank balance in the SBI. So 47 crores, there was a case also, and actually a penalty was also imposed. So without the consent of the individuals, later the DBT workflow system also was changed. So this is one thing. Another is, we may be actually coming across so many incidents where PAN card, in portals also they have a prominent space for correcting the PAN card data. Most of the time you might have fed the data, online with correct spellings, and you might also upload it, because nowadays we have, even you go and spend even 50 paise also, they give you a very good high resolution photocopy, or even you scan also. We have, or you can, even if you take a photo scanner through a smartphone also, very good quality scan output comes. In spite of uploading such correct inputs and documents and also feeding the data, we usually come across so many errors in the identity cards what we get, PAN card or whatever may be, Aadhaar card or voter ID or driving license. Because functionaries there, they commit some mistakes. Because most of the time, what is another problem is, English is not, though they claim it is a phonetic language, it is not so phonetic, because what we speak and what we write, spellings usually different. So that is one problem. So we come across this. But here the question is, though you might have fed correct data and you might have given correct testimonials, in spite of that, they committed error. So recently, one of my friend, he has to wait, all the way he has to go to Pune to correct his PAN card, information on the PAN card. So I asked, have you submitted any errors? Nothing is so there should be a proper governance in managing the data and how somebody should be able to. So this is one of the manifestation of the problem, lack of governance, data governance. Another is, most of the time, you may be paying utility bills and or you may be procuring some items from e-commerce sites, and most of the time they make you register. When you are registering, they may take also your credit card, debit card, or other data, and they preserve it. So suddenly one person who has taken a phone, a new SIM from a telephone company, and when he logged in and trying to make payment, and he has realized that his the account details of earlier account holder are visible to him, because they're all tagged to the mobile number, and the person who was owning that mobile number, because he may not have gone for mobile number portability, and that mobile number was given to a new customer, and new customer is able to have access to the bank account details of the earlier customer. So that is what, and telephone company also is one of the major telephone company, and this how actually, this is about the telephone company. Apart from that, even in utility also, e-commerce sites also, and suddenly without your consent also, if you just click and they can, because amount without any details, the tools or whatever goods you order will come and gets delivered, because automatically they withdraw money. So this is another problem. So you may not have given consent, but they preserve the data. So this is another problem. This is another thing, because recently because see, we are spending a lot of crores of rupees on conducting elections and a lot of surveillance, etc., etc. But typically what we see in every city or any location is, they have valid photo identity cards issued by the government only, but when they wish to vote, their name is not is missing, even if it is maybe altogether deleted, or it may be in some other polling booth, because it has, as per the rules, they should be given a facility to vote within a radius only. So these two types of problems are occurring, because there is no proper, right now there is no proper governance system to update the voters list. Though we are spending, it is actually a lot of money is being spent, and a lot of people with a lot of power also are there, but still this is a problem. So there is total lack of governance in managing our citizens' data. This is one of the examples. Another is actually recently in our Telangana state, within a month, 25 students committed suicide of age around 16 years, 10 plus 2 students. And the actual score obtained by that student, that girl, was 99, and in the scorecard, 0.25 was written. Another student, 00, and they committed suicide. 25 students committed suicide. This is master data management errors, or data referential integrity errors. They resulted in loss of lives also. We are coming across, because they are used thumb impression of authorized officers, such scans such reports we see. They are using thumb impressions also. Actually, now polymer printers are available, and we can make a thumb also of anybody. And SIM cloning also at 500 rupees, we can make SIM cloning. OTP also one can get. So there are scams occurring. So there is actually, again, here also in managing, lot of scope is there. And 85 crores electricity bill per a month, somebody is getting. Utility bill. So, and these are actually how actually there is lack of a manifestation of how there is total lack of data governance in all these departments, which have invested heavily on the IT and maybe using sophisticated system, but proper lack of governance, data governance. Another important thing is actually whatever this ransomware attacks, we have been facing a lot of these attacks, and we need to preserve the data, and we need to also, these attacks also make us have a strong data governance policy and practice. Whatever examples I have given, they're all Indian examples. Now, this is a recent example from Google. Actually, in June 2nd June at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, for 4 hours there is a total outage of the Google Cloud, and as a result in US, they have faced a lot of problems of YouTube and also Google Cloud services. The search services were not affected because they don't require a lot of bandwidth, but all of the services which require a lot of computation and also bandwidth were affected for 4 hours. Google, there are actually the good products are there for data governance and also for big data management. They are actually pioneers and leaders in the world, but still, these problems were faced. Well, the issue is the configuration which was supposed to be have been they are supposed to configure one server, and whatever they have done for configuring one server, and the same template got replicated in set of servers in the entire region. As a result, the entire region, the servers have taken a lower configuration than what their full capacity. So they were performing it off their capacity after this updation. So as a result, because in the data, it is not that only in the citizens' data, even in the data of the data centers also, we should have a proper data governance policy and practice. It is not a program, or it is not a scheme, or it is not a project. It is a continuous practice of the processes, data governance. Otherwise, we may have a product, or we may be having a project, we executed data governance, one cannot think, because this is one example where actually I was telling about Google. So it is a continuous practice of the processes. It is to be done continuously. And especially when it comes to India, we have a lot of population where illiterate population, 122 languages we speak, and complexities are more, and we need to have much more rigorous practices in place for governing. Individual signed consent is a must, and also when we take the consent, it should be used for the purpose for which we take that data from the individuals. And also we should have a right to be forgotten. For example, a customer is from a telecom company, goes to another company, the earlier company should erase the data in a safely, securely, and in a visible manner. And we need to also minimize collection of the data so that we will not create different silos of information. And privacy by design should be there in place. And we need to ensure, protect the data with pseudonymization, anonymization, encryption, and also other tools. And there should be interoperability standards are required. So as I told, because so many vendors and so many devices we may procure, but we should ensure a common framework and protocol so that there should not be any vendor locking. And we are actually collecting a lot of scientific data even in smart cities also, like the utility maps or imageries. These are all scientific data, and also we need not only the data governance principles apply to the citizens' data, sensitive personal data of citizens, it is also applicable to the scientific data also, whatever we collect. And we need to ensure portability of the data, whatever we collect, and data collected, if it is not managed, and if it is it doesn't comply to the standards and also governance principles, it is highly dangerous. And we should have also a proper policy in place for safe disposition of the data. For example, we might have collected before Aadhaar, a lot of biometric data has been collected by some of the utility departments. And we need to have a safe disposition. Otherwise, this data can be used, because with Aadhaar-enabled payment system, what we require is an Aadhaar number and a fingerprint. That's all. I can just take out the money. I can do all the financial transaction, whether the individual is present or not. And we need to ensure compliance to the rules and regulations. Compliance, if you don't have compliance, there is not only penalty, but is also punishment. For example, Aadhaar Act, as per that, 3 years imprisonment, 10 lakhs punishment. And DGPA has much more. And there's no single agency which can ensure protection of the data. Though we may be procuring sophisticated projects and products, but no single entity or a product can ensure complete protection of the data. And government functionaries, as we need to, because whatever data comes to you, it comes through multiple channels and multiple agencies may be involved, and one cannot become a scapegoat. So for that, we should have a proper value chain system, and we should have, actually, as per the forthcoming Data Protection Act, co-regulation is being emphasized, so that the individual company or the agency is also responsible, and government also will supervise, audit, they're also responsible. So data governance as such, for example, the examples whatever given or in the government domain, and one Google also. Enron is another example where it actually, all the companies which are actually declaring bankruptcy, proper lack of data governance rules. What they show, sales figures are something, financial figures are something, and manufacturing figures are something, and actual truth may be something else. So if there is a proper governance, there will be a single source of truth. That is what is the need of the hour. So data governance facilitates metadata management and policies, processes, risk management, and also, apart from that, data quality. So many other things benefits are there. And we actually are information in the entire value chain of the information at every stage. This has to be ensured. And before data governance, it will be like a jungle. And where if it is governance is there, then it will be a smooth and effective flow of information. And we have a few platforms we have created, facilitate classification, cataloging, and ensure quality, production, privacy, and data disposition, compliance, residency, data residency, because data residence also is important, because as per the forthcoming act, all the data of the Indian citizens has to reside in the servers of India. That is a major bone of contention between India and other MNCs. So that is, but we now, in order to ensure compliance to the rules and regulations of the land, we need to have data residency. Data has to reside in Indian servers. Ownership is another big issue. Lineage, how the data has transformed, and who has authored, who has affected, and roles and responsibilities, liabilities. So we have this platform to facilitate managing all this. And another is data lifecycle management, where actually you can keep the data of structured, unstructured, any type of data, and you can actually share it safely, securely, and also archive it. And data governance maturity modeling, we have created a model to facilitate auditing whether at what level your data is of data governance maturity. So these are all some of the things which we have done, and thank you.
Thank you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to say a big thank you to Mr. Rajshekhar. Please get your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Rajshekhar.